one big thing.
As the NBA season tips off on Tuesday night, there are as many interesting storylines as you care to dig down to discuss. At the treetops level, simply seeing LeBron James in a Lakers jersey is wild. It always felt like the final and inevitable act to his NBA play, a transition to Hollywood where he already had a home and interests in a production life after basketball, a second life that's already begun, actually. What the Lakers will be as a team, well, it's going to be more than they've been, but what's the ceiling? Top four in the West, Western semis, Western finals? I mean, they're not beating Golden State, but I don't think anybody is, barring injury. We'll get to the dubs in a moment. LeBron's move west for the first time in his 16-year career means the path in the East has seen its most significant obstacle removed. The two teams who appear most prepared to benefit are Boston and Philly, which is fun in and of itself as it has shined up a once great rivalry. The Celtics lost Gordon Hayward Game 1 and Kyrie Irving in the spring last year. Their absence paved the way for Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, and Terry Rozier to all become more than they would have been otherwise, and that was massive for their growth. Figuring out how all those Celtic pieces fit together and what the sum of those parts equals is in the very capable hands of Brad Stevens. The Sixers process has finally borne fruit, but how much does Markelle Fultz add after what has become the unique element to the Sixers process, the redshirt year for their top pick? He shot 100,000 jumpers this summer. Cool. Do they go in? That's a mystery, but not as complex as Kawhi Leonard. This is a spectacular talent who lost a year to injury and ennui, which is the first time I ever used that word on this show. How interested and engaged is he going to be? What's the trajectory of Giannis look like? He is the Frankenstein the NBA lab has created. Can my guy Fizz make the New York Knicks matter? Will they even bother to play Porzingis? Is Kevin Durant a realistic option for the Knicks in free agency in the summer? Who's the rookie that makes the biggest splash out of this talented class? I will take Doncic there. And the thing about all these questions, and I haven't even gotten to the loaded West and all the subplots there yet, is how many of them deal with the future? Reading Kevin O'Connor on The Ringer today, and he makes a point I agree with, that this year, in many ways, is about the future. And that's what makes the NBA so endlessly interesting and frustrating at the same time. If you're Golden State, you're set. You are a machine and you are unstoppable. But consider what you have to do to combat that. Philadelphia was horrific for years in the hopes they could assemble the pieces to matter, and it seems they have. Boston can now trot out a five of all-star caliber talent, but so much of the league is stuck in a spot where they're just like a guy in his best outfit at the club, either trying to get in or trying to get noticed, who's got no shot. None. Remember when Washington fans were buying KD jerseys and selling themselves on the idea his love of the DMV would lure him home? Exactly. And mostly that's how it goes. A handful of teams with a real shot, a handful who are at least going to be interesting, and a bunch more who are stuck in a make-believe world where they will matter. Just going to be a little while. Just have to be the team to land that superstar, which is why those stars have such immense power and why the offseason has become as much a spectacle as the season. One starts on Tuesday. The race to the other, for many, begins not long after.